What's up, golf noobs? Welcome back to the channel. So, your best friend is out of town on a business trip. No problem. You call your brother. Your brother's stuck working. The two guys you play golf with from work just got overtime. But you want to go play golf. What are you going to do? That's right. You're going to book as a single. And it's going to be terrifying. Oh my God. Eek. That's right, guys. Booking as a single is never fun. Golf is always more about the people you play golf with versus the score you shoot, okay? That's something good to keep in mind, especially for this guy. That being said, guys, sometimes you still want to go play golf and you don't have anybody to go with, so you're forced to book as a single. Can you book as a single? Yes, the answer is it's hard to book as a single, but yes, you oftentimes can book as a single. Most golf courses won't take single reservations. They'll have you come out and they'll just pair you up with folks randomly. That's the case at a lot of golf courses, especially in smaller markets, smaller towns, smaller cities, where there might not be as much demand for golf. But if you're in a bigger market, you can go onto apps like teeoff.com. You can use Golf Now. Both of those apps are really good for single bookings, okay? You can scroll through, look at different courses, search tee times, and if you got to book as a single, they've got you covered, all right? So that's one good way to go about doing it. The other thing that gets a lot of people is sometimes the booking as a single, that's just the beginning. That's not even the hardest part. You've booked as a single, and now you've got to go play golf with 1, 2, or 3 other people that you've never met before. You don't know if they're cool. You don't know if they're zany. You don't know if they're weird. You don't know if they're dipping into the wacky weed. You don't know if they're listening to music. You don't know you don't know if they're scratch golfers. You don't know if they're brand new golfers. You don't know if they're good. You don't know if they're terrible. You don't know anything about them. And it's just the most intimidating thing in the world. And guys, that's perfectly natural. Key number 1 is just to relax, okay? It's socially awkward for them. It's socially awkward for you, but it is part of the game. That's why there's so many memes out there, so many jokes out there about the single we got paired with today. There's a reason that stuff is out there because it is part of the game. It does happen. So I'm here to put your mind at ease with this video, trying to give you some tips and tricks to kind of smooth through that transition, all right? So the first one we've already touched on. First one is book it and relax, okay? Take a deep breath. You never know what could happen. You might get paired up with 3 weirdos. You might get paired up with 3 guys that wind up attending your wedding in a few years, okay? Some of my best friends I have met on the golf course. This game has given me tons of new friendships that I wouldn't have if I didn't play golf. So look at it that way. That's really cool. Some of my all-time favorite people I met on the golf course. Mike here's looking at you. You snowbird, get back here. But yeah, Mike's just one of many really awesome people I've got to meet on the golf course. You can meet new business acquaintances that way. It's a good way to network too, you know, so that's never a bad thing, all right? So the first key is just take a step back. Just because you're getting paired up with 1, 2, or 3 other people doesn't automatically mean it's going to be a disaster. Sometimes it can go really great. You guys can have good energy and vibe really well together, and then you make friends for life. All right, so that's the first one. Relax, don't panic. There's no reason to believe it's gonna go south, all right? That leads me to my second point, going south. How often does it really happen? How often do you really get paired with people that ruin your round, ruin your day, and would make you wish you'd have saved your 40 bucks and just stayed home, or maybe gone to the driving range instead, okay? Well, guys, that's going to be different for everybody. But in the 30 years I've been playing this game, I have probably logged, I'd say probably around 100 rounds in my lifetime where I played all by myself. That's right. I booked as a single, and I got to play all by myself. All right? There's something tranquil. There's something soothing. There's something really unique about that kind of an opportunity. Okay, so booking as a single, you might not even get paired up with anybody. Which leads me back to point 1. You might as well relax. Because you might get out there all panic-stricken. You've been worried all week. Then you get out there on the weekend, do your booking, and find out you're the only golfer in that slot. It can happen. All right? So yeah, I've probably had well over 100 rounds where I've played by myself. Then I've probably had 400 rounds or so where I've been paired up with complete and total strangers. Of the 400 times I've been paired with random strangers on the golf course, it's gone absolutely terrible, absolutely disastrous about 7 times. Yeah, that's right. About 7 times out of those 400 opportunities, I got paired up with people that I just couldn't vibe well with, just didn't get along with, and it was really, really stressful. Make sure you stick around at the end of the video. We're going to tell you what to do if that happens to you, okay? But again, guys, don't panic. The odds are in your favor. Chances are you're going to meet multiple people during your round that are going to be a lot like you. I mean, for starters, you've already got something in common, golf, you know? So that's already a good starting point. Plus, a lot of folks that are into golf are into other sports, all right? There's a chance that may apply to you too. And that's also another common bond I find between golfers, all right? So that's a big one. There's no reason to panic because the odds are in your favor, all right? So remember, number 1, relax. Number 2, the odds are in your favor. Getting to number 3. Okay, what happens if you get to the golf course, you get paired up with 3 of the just worst playing partners you could possibly imagine? What happens? What do you do? Okay, so here's your options, guys. If you run into that situation, every scenario is going to be a little different. There's 1,000 different scenarios out there. Maybe they listen to music and you're a not music on the golf course kind of person, okay? Maybe they're slower than you. Maybe they're faster than you. Maybe they're better than you. Maybe they're just not on your wavelength from a social standard, all right? Maybe you guys just don't really vibe well. Maybe there's a huge age gap and y'all can't really relate to each other, or maybe y'all just have nothing else in common other than golf, okay? Guys, when that happens, sometimes you just got to grin and bear it and get through, all right? But a lot of times what will happen is you guys get off the first tee and sometimes you can kind of sneak away. Either they can go ahead or you can go ahead, and then you just kind of move around the golf course in your own space. At most golf courses I've been to, that's a very real possibility. So after 3 or 4 holes, if it's just not going well, you guys can just kind of try to wait for the group ahead to separate, and you guys put a little distance between you, and either you go off ahead of them or they may go off ahead of you, and you may just wind up following them up, okay? It is frowned upon. I know it's not what makes golf courses happy, but sometimes it's just unavoidable, all right? Another cool thing is, guys, another easy way to get around this, well, maybe not easy, but another way to kind of get around this is you can stop at the turn. If you play the front 9 and things just aren't going well, tell them you're hungry, stop at the turn, grab a bite to eat, and tell them to go on. Plug yourself in when the 10th tee becomes available after you've had some lunch, all right? That's another great way of going about doing it. The third option you have is to, as you're moving around the golf course in your own space, once you guys have separated, is to try and bump into another group that you might be able to join up with. This protects pace of play. This might also help you make new friends, and it might help you, you know, kill some time while you're waiting on all the threesomes and foursomes out ahead of you, okay? So if you catch up to a twosome in front of you, try and bond with that group. See what happens there. The odds of 2 groups on the same day not vibing are astronomical, okay? If it's happened to you, leave it in the comments down below because Golf Noob wants to know, all right? So guys, that's it. Just a short, quick video. I hope that puts your mind at ease. One of the scariest things we as golfers do is book single tee times, but it is a part of the game, and it's one of those unnecessary, that's not the right word I'm looking for, necessary evils. It's one of those necessary evils, and so you just got to try to make the best of it, okay? So remember, number 1, relax. Number 2, don't panic. The odds are in your favor. And number 3, if things do go wrong, now you've got some ammo and some ideas to maybe kind of get yourself out of that nasty situation you've landed yourself in, all right? So guys, remember, like, subscribe, comment, stick around. When we get to 500 subscribers, we're going to give away that set of beginner-proof irons in the Ping i2s, all right? So, lots of fun stuff coming. Also, a couple more educational videos coming and some more golf vlogs, online golf content coming soon, all right? Till next time, Golf Noob out.